Into doing this food walking tour, a bit like we were talking about earlier, it was very little capital outlay. All I had to do was sort of get a website up and running, and just myself learn a few stories, find a few venues to go and visit, and put myself out there. The lucky thing for me was I was the only food tour in Edinburgh, so I didn't have much competition. But something similar to you probably have yourselves is that food tours weren't very popular at that time, so people weren't searching for food tours, so it was actually getting your name out there, sort of thing. So if you've got some really great product, it's actually getting your name out there and making people realise they want to do that. So this first part of the presentation is this is actually more, first few slides are actually just give you a background about the tour, and this is what I use to promote the tour when I'm trying to sell it to tour companies. With Visit Scotland, I've been out to Germany promoting this tour, and been into Holland as well, and I've been to 2 or 3 expos now. The expos can be quite expensive, but if you can get together and do it as a joint venture, as you're talking about, I think it's a very good way of getting to talk to companies like Agritourism. And just to defend Agritourism and other places like that, although you're talking about 25% commission, quite often they're not getting 25% commission because they're then selling it to other travel companies, and they're all taking a little bit of cut sort of thing. So, and because you're starting from scratch, the big mistake I made, I didn't build enough commission into my tours when I started, so I would struggle to do 25%, I only do about 10%. But if you're starting out with a product straight away, you might have to have as much as 25, just try and build that in. Obviously if it's going to make it uneconomical, it might not work, but just start from that viewpoint. So basically Eat Walk Tours, 2011, we started in Edinburgh, and all it is quite simple. We visit 5 different venues tasting locally sourced food. At 3 of the stops also some drink tastings, and as we walk between locations, the guides talk about the history of the area. To add sort of to the experience, we've got a little headset so people can hear what the guides say as we walk between venues, because quite often we've got table reservations. Unlike some food tours I've since been on around the world where the weather's always great and you can stand outside and enjoy your food, in Edinburgh we always make sure we've got a table reservation so we can sit inside, because you never know what the weather's going to be like. So, just going to run this short little video, it's last 1 minute, just gives you a little bit of flavour of what we do on the food tour. Just down the bottom, there should be if you go down to the bottom here, it's just
it's running on my screen.
All right.
Sorry, I can see it looks great. Sorry. Can't see it.
But if it doesn't work, just pass over it, it's fine, it's not a problem.
Apologies, it's, as I say, it's on mine but not on there.
Okay.
Sure.
Just pass over.
I will come back to it.
There must be a button in that.
Just go to the next slide.
Next slide, then come back.
Apologies.
That's right. Basically, most of these slides are what we use to sell the tour. We have chosen some of the best restaurants and bars in the area. Try and push the Scottish hospitality. We talk about sort of selling the tours to locals. Here it is very much Scottish food. People want to try smoked salmon, want to try haggis and things like this. So it is more sort of a visitor experience rather than for the locals sort of thing. The tours last between 3.5 hours, but they're broken up every 15 to 20 minutes with a stop at a venue. Mostly on the tours, it's the guide that does the chat, but some of the venues we're going to some shops, and so the local shop people do some chat, and so the people are getting the idea of getting the local experience, get to talk to local people. We try and push this all the time, because this is what people are wanting nowadays, is this extra experience. They just don't want to go out for a meal, they want to squeeze in so much in such a short time. So Glasgow was started in 2014. Basically what happened was in Edinburgh, I started 2 tours in Edinburgh. I had one in the morning, one in the afternoon. But all I found out was happening was 2 or 3 people were booking on the morning tour and 4 people were booking the afternoon tour, so I was stretching my resources. So I decided if I was going to start a second tour, we had to do it in a totally different city, just so we get different clientele. So interesting with Glasgow, I always thought Glasgow was not as historical as Edinburgh. It might not have so much great venues, but what I discovered was the venues are actually better in Glasgow than Edinburgh, because nearly every venue we go to is in a lovely old historic building. I mean, this is Hutchison's where we stop for oysters, and this is the Corinthian here, some great venues in Glasgow. The old Newtown tour, we actually visit, the highlight of this is we visit the Scotch Malt Whisky Society, and that goes down great guns, as does the haggis. I've hardly had anybody that's not like haggis by the end of the tour. Do braised ox cheek, Stornoway black pudding, Edinburgh raspberry gin. And we've got a morning tour. This actual morning tour is what I really thought the food tour would be like. It's a lot more interaction with the shopkeepers as well. So the people on the tour get a chance to chat to more than just the guide. As I say, the afternoon tour is very much more a meal experience, having different courses and different venues, and talking mainly to the guide. In St Andrews, this tour covers the whole area because it's such a small area. So it's all about bringing in the history, bringing in the food, but also what's good as well is if you've got complete strangers by the end of the tour. We only take 8 on the tour, so by the end of the tour they're all interacting with each other, telling each other stories, getting ideas of other things to do, whether they're in Edinburgh or Glasgow, St Andrews. I tried to put myself in your shoes to try and think about what you need to be looking at. Some people are quite far down the line of doing their own tours, other people are looking to set things up. And some of the areas have already been covered, but basically just you don't have to create something new yourself. Just look at what other people are offering around the country, whether it's in the UK or abroad. See what they're doing. Is it something you can bring into yourself? Also check what's available in your area. There might already be 2 or 3 things going on in your area, so you might want to do something different. You might want to do something exactly the same. Maybe the other venue's fully booked, and so there's room for you just to copy them. But also, how can you be different? But again, we're talking about, does it fit in with your day-to-day business? This is just something ancillary. You don't want it to take over your main business. And again, you're talking about who's going to do the guiding. Here, you don't have to be some expert. Somebody's talking about becoming a blue badge guide. Great money to be made for being a blue badge guide, but just got to be about entertaining, be a people person, be knowledgeable. Because anyone can learn dates. Once you know your story, you just start telling the same story over and over again. You want to make it sound so the first time you told it, sort of thing. So you really want the and I say price, building, 25% commission, already had it up here, sort of thing. But I say it is. I didn't build that in, so I suffer a bit. I've not got so much room to move on that. But if you can build it in, then build it in, because you can then send to more tour companies that way. But you can quite easily just up 10% and just work with separate companies. And I've not found nobody's ever tied me down to be exclusive. The only thing is, cruise liners has got a really big thing, and they do try and get exclusivity. They do want that. The only thing I've found with cruise liners is that if the ship doesn't dock, they're very reluctant to pay you any money, sort of thing. They may have booked 20 people coming, but due to bad weather, the cruise doesn't dock, and then they try and squirm their way out of it, sort of thing. So you've got to watch that side. Have good terms and conditions, cancellation, agreed in advance what you want to do. And again, test it out by inviting, what I did was I tested mine out by inviting front of house hotels, local hotels, getting the receptionists coming on. If it's big area where they've got concierges, get them coming on the tour. It's free, obviously, you're testing your tour. But also you ask them to write some reviews on TripAdvisor for you, so you're already getting reviews on TripAdvisor, which it will help your promotion. It's things like, it's really just a matter of making sure you've got a really good product before you start worrying about, where your market's going to be. You've got to make sure it's something you think is going to work. So try and test it. Thank you. Talking about having a website, there's some really good, easy to set up website companies now. Squarespace, GoDaddy. Fair Harbour is actually a booking system, but I know somebody does Glasgow Music City Tours, and they got their website built for free by Fair Harbour. And Fair Harbour's a booking system, and they take a commission for you. I use a company called Bookio. I like Bookio, but I say Fair Harbour. The person that's in this afternoon that's doing the Scott Beer tour, she uses Fair Harbour, so you can ask some questions about her about that. These are quite easy things. These are monthly charges, so there's no very little setup fees to get these up and running. You've also got to drive traffic to your website. It's all it's a black art sort of thing of keywords and things like this. But as it's a new product, like I say, when I first started doing food walking tours, it was a new product. People were typing in Edinburgh walking tour or tour of Edinburgh, what to do in Edinburgh. So these were more of the keywords I had to put into my website rather than food tour. Because nobody knew they were looking for a food tour at that time. They were looking for an experience. So it might not be used putting in farm food tour or something like that, because people won't use those keywords to search online because they don't know that's what they want. You've got to do that, but that's why you should probably use travel companies to begin with, because they'll bring traffic to you originally, because they'll help sell your tour. It's really hard from a standing start to try and just get people coming in. As I say, I was lucky, I was only food tour in Edinburgh at that time, so I was scoring quite highly without doing anything in Google searches and things like that. But there's quite a bit more competition in Edinburgh now. And I say, work with tour companies, connections through Visit Scotland, attend expos. So expos are a bit expensive to do it on your own. You can do it as a joint venture, it's a really good way. But these sort of things do take a little bit of time to feed through. When I went to Germany, it took about 2 years, because you went to Germany, chatted every day. It was a year leading from that sort of thing, but we actually get quite a lot of bookings from their tours now, and we went to the Netherlands, and quite a lot of avoid travel as well. So it is worth doing once you've got the connections, and we've got worked with Abbey tours through meeting up at Expo and things like that. They are good avenues to work with. But a quick way to try it out is some people maybe have apartments and maybe have cottages on the farm. You might already be selling through Airbnb. They do Airbnb experience now, so you can actually set up a little tour that they can tie into staying on your farm already, booked on Airbnb. They can then book an experience. It can be a one-off thing. You can just sit there by itself. And there's other companies as well, Get Your Guide, and with locals, they have websites where you can just put your package up, and as though you can actually have something standalone, but you can decide whether you want to test the waters or something else. You could put it in one of these and try it out and just charge a premium price for it, because it'll be an exclusive thing and it won't clash with other things you're doing. And again, an even easier way, and I think might be even just to try and tap into tour companies, bus tour companies that come out of Edinburgh or Glasgow already, and just see if they'd be interested in stopping at your farm if it's a small enough experience. Because you might have an idea, but it might not be a full day out, it might just be a 1 hour tour experience. You maybe tap into some of these. The only problem with things like Ravi's and Heriku and things like that, I'm thinking, is they've got quite established routes now, so they're probably quite happy. They might not be looking for too much new, but I just use localised, got a person know the guy, and there's another one called Iconic Tours. They've got minibuses, they're always looking for new ideas of stop off at places. You could just agree a price with them, sort of thing. They wouldn't take any commission because they would just build it into their overall price. So these are just a few ideas. Any questions? Yes.
I was interested in your experience there about saying when you were listing and splitting your group size. And I'm struggling a bit with some things like the Airbnb experience. They have like a per person rate rather than the stuff I drive to myself. You can set your minimum pricing. Did you then find that for your Edinburgh market, did you then drop your 2 tours and stick with just one? I mean, any tips for how you fill your spaces?
Well, basically in Edinburgh, the afternoon tour is still the busier tour. The morning tour basically the morning tour visits a lot of shops, but the people in the shops don't want me to visit in the afternoon because they're too busy to take the tours in the afternoon. So it's also to stay a morning tour. And so it's still a little bit of a bugbear for me, because basically if I've got low numbers on the morning tour, I will write to them and ask them, would you like to move to the afternoon tour? The afternoon tour is a bit more expensive, so I say you can move without paying anything extra. And I just move them over to try and condense it.
Alan, have you done all the tours yourself, or have you got?
No, I've got other guides.
How do you get between
all,
Edinburgh, Glasgow and St Andrews in one day?
well, yeah. Well, basically all the guides are freelance. They just, I'll just send emails out to the guides saying, obviously I've trained them up, I've made sure that the right type of people want to do the tours. I say, the funny thing is that some of them are very history date driven, and other ones are very food driven, and but they're all just entertaining. They're all people personally. We only have a maximum of 8 in our tour, so basically you get to know what people are wanting to hear and things like this, and what they're interested in. And first couple of stops, everything's quite quiet. But once I've had a whiskey and some Edinburgh raspberry gin, you all start having lots of questions to ask, and start asking about politics and things like that, and how the National Health Service works and things like that sort of thing. It's all good fun, and also you're swapping ideas of things to do, sort of. Yeah. Any other questions?
Yeah, from a food venue's point of view, how did you approach them, and how do you, I mean, do they just benefit from the things that people purchase whilst they're visiting?
Well, basically, when I first set the tour up, it actually was harder than I thought it was going to be, because again, nobody really knew what a food tour was. I didn't see what benefit it would be to them. Now I actually get people, when a new restaurant opens up, I actually get them email me asking me, can you come on the food tour, can you join the food tour and things like that. It's very nice. But basically, the idea is we pay, every venue we go to, we pay them, they get money straight away. It's not very much, they get money straight away, it does cover the costs. We give out a map at the end of the tour, and on the map it's showing all the different venues we visit, and it's up to them if you want to do a little promotion, come back and get 10% off food and such like. And so they can also, that feeds back to them because they have to show the map to get the discount, so they can see that people coming back to try it. And say one of the restaurants on the Mound, literally we helped them get started. They just opened, we started driving customers there. Now they don't need me, they're a huge success, but very kindly let them still come in. You know, they've actually got to keep a table for us because they're full all the time now, so they don't actually need me, but I need them. So it's really worked out quite well.
Any more questions?